So every once in a while, now listen, don't tell me that you're not one of these people. Every once in a while, we always need a little cash, huh? I mean, sometimes there's a downturn in the economy. Well, there are many downturns in the economy that affect all of us. And sometimes it's a matter of saying, man, you know what? I've got all these possessions, and I could use a little more cash. And I've got somebody here with the answer, David Goldstein. And David, the name of your firm, tell everybody.
Is Biltmore Loan and Jewelry.
And it doesn't say pawn shop, though. It said Biltmore Loan and Jewelry. And when I checked out what it is you do, I said, oh, well, wait a minute, that must be like a pawn shop.
We never use those four letters. We are nothing like a pawn. The only thing that is the same between us and a pawn shop is our licensing, the governing of our loans. We have nothing for sale in our shops. It's an upscale in a AAA office building, a very private and confidential environment, and we're trying to bring dignity back to what's a very difficult situation today.
And who are your customers?
You and I, my peers, my friends, people that you just wouldn't believe today are in difficult times. And the banks plain have to say no. It's not that the banks don't want a loan. They can't. They simply can't. So, as I put it, in 2008 when the disaster hit, by 2009 people had used their money. By 2010 they were out of a job. By 2011 they were living on the edge. In 2012, they have just things that are left. And what we try to do is bring liquidity to these things. We're not in the product business. We don't want to be in the product business. We try to work and be flexible with our customers to find some liquidity for whatever their situation is so that we can loan on it.
But tell me what the process is. I come in, maybe I'm not up against it, but I need cash for an investment or I need cash for something else, and I need it right now. I come to Biltmore. What happens?
I think you'll find the experience enlightening and professional. You're dealing with professionals, not clerks. We have 80 years experience between the staff that we have in our office. So we can look, and in 24 hours, we can execute a loan. Sometimes literally on the spot. Many of the loans can occur right on the spot. But what we try not to do is tell you that we're a total expert in everything. So we try to get you the maximum value by doing our research. Generally, no loan takes over 48 hours.
Oh. So what do I bring you?
You bring either a product or your situation. Sometimes we'll just sit down, talk to you, and you may be a business that has a cash flow issue. Restaurants struggle during the summer. They need cash flow during that period. We're there to try to facilitate that. We've seen all types of situations, from business short-term loans to a receivable that's coming in, an annuity that they're waiting for. It could be even a lottery win. It could be anything, any type of product or income that you may have coming in that we try to facilitate to give you some capital in the short term.
I know there are folks out there right now who are saying, well, wait a minute, I've got a lot of stuff, and some of it seems to have some value, at least to my untrained eyes. Give me a couple of examples of things that regularly will come through the doors.
It's such a vast array since we've been open that we've seen
things.
Well,
you brought a watch.
I did. Somebody brought in this, and this is actually the finest watch in the world. This is called the Patek Philippe, and it is the largest chronograph that they've ever made. And this is a watch, to give you an idea, that we did a loan of $50,000 on. We brought in...
Excuse me just a moment. Hold on. I just got heart palpitations, and Lisa across the studio went back into hot flashes again. $50,000 for Patek Philippe?
Correct.
And then you can loan some part of that?
We loaned $50,000 on that.
Really?
Yes. We are not clerks. When you go into what you referred to before as that four-letter word that I prefer not to talk about.
Yes, the P word.
Yes, that we feel that we are so far from that. They're going to go in and they're going to say $5,000 because there's a clerk behind the counter that has no expertise and says $5,000. We know the values of these things. We're experts in that field. I'm 30 years in that industry and 40 years here in the Valley. So what we do is we have, needless to say, I don't have to tell you that there's a divorce rate of 50%, and women are left very vulnerable today. They go in to their P word shop, and they have a clerk there who looks at a rate card and says, oh, I have a diamond here. How big is that? They look at the number and say, okay, the rate card says $500. I'm a gemologist. We have a gemologist on staff. We know the value of that, and consequently, you'll get far greater.
And you can call other authorities, having been in the business for a while, people that you know that are legitimate, that are authorities on other kinds of merchandise.
We use experts in every field, from art to car loans, and we do purchases as well. We even have, this was a perfect example, I thought, that might be something that a lot of women can relate to, a Chanel handbag. And
I would never have imagined that somebody would come in and ask for a loan on a handbag.
Or a sale of it. Yes, actually, it's quite common. Again, going back to the scenario of the 2008 to 2012 scenario, you'll see that they bought these things. People have stuff left. What we try to do is bring liquidity to that. We do everything we can to try to facilitate them in a situation where they can get it back.
And where do they bring it?
They bring it to 7025 North Scottsdale Road. We're on the corner of just north of Indian Bend and Scottsdale Road, and hope to have more offices open. We're working on 3 or 4 new offices currently.
And these good folks who watch the Morning Scramble also love to watch websites, and you have one.
BiltmoreLoan.com, and you can call us at 480-991-5626.
And we've provided all of that information at no extra charge whatsoever, because it's the Morning Scramble. You just met David Goldstein.